All right. Hello, everybody. We are back with some more Temtem. So, not like super enthusiastic today. I'm ready to play some Temtem for sure, but I don't know. I'm just a bit worn out. It's been kind of a long week. Ugh. Um, I was planning on streaming yesterday, but a friend of mine ended up taking the day off of work because he was sick, and so he was online all day, and I just kind of played with him. And so we are now at Friday. Probably gonna run this same team back. Might switch it up, play this team or some variation of it. Not real sure. Just kind of gonna play whatever today. Nothing real special. I'm kind of done with the theme teams. Experimented with everything that was new in the patch that I wanted to, and now we're just playing. The main goal is for me to just kind of get a good taste of the meta, at least whatever semblance of a meta there is, so that hopefully this weekend, probably on Sunday, I can get a tier list video out for all. That can give like a decent idea. I know normally I would also put out some teams that are kind of updated with the patch as well as codes to download. I I'll still probably do that, but no guarantee this time. Oh my goodness. Why did it start me at such a low time? Hey, why are you using the fully evolved Bun Bun? Yeah, it's uh, basically, some of you know I've kind of been throwing around the idea of working on my own game, and I decided for sure I'm going to give it a shot. I was kind of wishy-washy on it before, but I'm doing some like initial preparations, kind of gauging how much costs are going to be, how long of a project it's going to be. I'm asking a friend of mine if he wants to work on it with me, and so been kind of taking a lot of my attention. And in the future, going forward, it's going to take a lot more. After like I'm gonna start in March. I'm planning to, so I'll probably still try and stream like at least 4 or 5 days a week until then. But my stream is gonna die down a lot in the near future, so that's kind of disappointing for a lot of y'all. I'm aware, and I'm sorry, but bigger things, you know. It's not like I'm gonna quit streaming entirely. It's just like I'll probably turn into the. I'm probably only gonna stream like once or twice a month, which really ain't a whole lot. I'm probably gonna throw like a Discord together so that I can have a bot set up to ping everyone when there is an update, and then it'll also kind of be like a hub for the new game. So anytime I make some progress or have updates, I could let everyone know in the. See why? Why would you pick Mudrid into to SciPat? Every time I have an update to share, I would be able to post it and everyone would be able to look at it. So at this point, I wish I had Martial Strike. I don't, but I wish I did. Only thing that can eat a water move is Kinu, so I can ban that out. Ugh. Once or twice a month. Ouch. I know. But I don't know. I'll kind of go through it more in like the update video I'm planning on doing. But I just did my last stream of Dragon Quest Monsters. That game just was so frustrating to play a game that looks like it's supposed to have a good competitive scene and to not have anything like any balance patches in like 3 or 4 months and no indication of there being any in the future is awful. Like it just kills any desire I had to play the game. I want at least one neutral, so I'll probably go with Valash, just for synergy with Kapire. It's just he'll have at least 3 things that can hit Valiar, and that's just not something I want to have around. I mean, streaming was never meant to be like a full-time thing for me. I streamed a lot just because I had a lot of free time, and I didn't know what to do with it. The last year, like 8 months that I've been doing this, it just kind of like had my last summer break where I was still doing an internship, and then I had my last semester of school, and now I'm finally getting into the routine of a full-time job. So I'm kind of figuring out like what time I have and what time I don't have and stuff like that. Do you think he's gonna even stay in with his Mudrid? I don't know. I can take one hit on Kapire, even if it's iron coating or something. You shouldn't have any way to seize. I want to go for heat up here, but I'm just going to go for the Quetzal guaranteed damage on Gazuma. Alright, it is like a... I mean, it's Mudrid. You expect the thing to have max speed. I know I've run into this matchup before. I know what Iron Coating Soil Steam is, so I'm not surprised I lived, even if it was on barely any health. uh. Yeah, the Psypack getting slowed is honestly really bad here. I should have swapped Kapire out. I didn't know for sure if he was going to keep it in or not. And even then, I didn't have anything to eat the hit real well. Grumper and Valash wouldn't have done it, so I would have had to swap in Nidrasil, which would have died to the Tornado next turn. Refreshing Diabolo on Auhi? That's weird. I want a Venomous Claws. I'll swap in Grumper. Don't know how I was still playing Dragon Quest. Seemed to get tilted as something different. Yeah. That's kind of how the game went, for sure. Dang, I could have Nox bombed for sure. I wasn't really expecting him to go for the Psypath there. I really thought he would have tried to confirm the kill on Kapire. Oh, and he got the flippin' burn kill mechanic. Dang it. I didn't know that Gazuma Auhi was such a threatening board for me. Because normally, if it wasn't for that stupid interaction that I've abused plenty of times myself, then I'd be able to just sack some, or I'd be able to just take a hit or two and then kill the Auhi, but that's not really a possibility now. So I think I'm just going to have to sack the Kapire here. It's not doing a whole lot for me anyways this game. And then just go for like a Dust Vortex on the Gazuma. Because now Tornado's burned. He won't be able to take out Valash that way. I'm assuming there's still a Fiery Soul. Yes. I think I have bait. I do have bait, so that's good. Don't get burned. Okay. Playing Crystal Spikes here. He has Volphy in the back, but he'll have to choose. Is Volphy or Auhi more important? And obviously Auhi is. I don't have really anything for the Volphy either. Dang, this team sucks. That Auhi is really screwing me up. I really didn't think he'd fire stole my side pad. I should have known that he couldn't kill it anyways and just gone for the Nox bomb. I guess I was afraid of a matter teleport, like from a physical Auhi, because most Auhis are special nowadays, but if somebody throws a fire or a physical one at you, then you're definitely gonna struggle. So Auhi comes in. No, I can't even kill the Gazuma because I have to kill the Auhi first. It's tough. Thought about your old version of the team since the latest Bamboozle change? I have, yeah. Definitely thought about it. The old target rep combo. A non-invested Nidrasil. That one hurts. I think the team would do alright, but the Doom changes also hurt it pretty bad. So it's just a tough call regardless. If this Volphy has Sandstorm, I think I'm just insta screwed. Even if it doesn't, I still don't know how I'm gonna pull this off. It's decent damage, but it's just not enough. Well, interesting. I am not sure why we saw the Feather Gut there. I guess he was just confident that he'd have Turbine to kill me next turn. See, this is the turn I'm going to swap in Valash and just hope that he doesn't have... I hope he doesn't have Sandstorm, because if he does, he just gets like a double kill here, and the game's over. And he's got Bush, okay. He pushes off the Toxic, which is also kind of bad for me, but we can manage that. See, there's the Turbine, nothing surprising there. Crystal Spikes is fine. I'll kill and I'll get Scavenger, even if he swaps to Gazuma. Now it's just a question, do I live the Dust Vortex or not? If I can force an endgame with just Nidrasil versus Volphy, somehow I'd be alright. The best case scenario is gonna be if Grumper actually dies. And I can give the healing to Valash. 8 should be barely enough to kill. Is Grumper faster than Tuvine? Doesn't matter because Tuvine's dead, but I'm slower than Volphy. Question is, do I love the Dust Vortex on him? Quicksand isn't what I was expecting. I guess he thought he had Synergy. That must have been why. Okay, he may have just been trying to slow me down to get a hurricane off with his Gazuma. That would make sense. I could try a ninja to finish off the Gazuma. That might be kind of tough. I don't have any... Oh, he just gives up. He must not have Hurricane. I was not expecting that. I thought that game was still going to be really close in the end. But I will take it. Alright, GG. Yeah, because I would always win the 1v1 with Nidrasil versus Volfi there. But if he had Hurricane on his Gazuma and he outsped me, then I would not have been able to win because Nidrasil would have died. He probably didn't know, but I was a slow Valash. Like, yeah, I was a bulky Valash. I'm only 232 speed. It's relatively slow for a Valash. I did have Ninja. I could have risked clicking because I can pick on Gazuma's lower physical defense, but with no invest, it would have been tough. I don't know if it would have killed. Most Gazumas have like decent investment in that. He seemed relatively bulky too. Maybe he was a bulkier set and just knew he wouldn't outspeed anyways. He must have just been hoping to get the outspeed with Volfi on Quicksand. Not entirely sure what that would have done because he wouldn't have been able to kill. His turbine was down because he had just used it. Grumper wasn't doing anything. Even if he got the Quicksand faster, it wouldn't have mattered because I would have always outsped his 2-vine. So I'm not really sure. Also, it's worth mentioning, he had both Bush and Quicksand. And then he had Dust Vortex and Plague. So, I guess that's not all that unusual. I feel like it's missing something it normally runs with that set, but maybe not. I mean, I always like Sandstorm just because you always have an Earth move available after the first turn, which I think is important. For situations just like those. Plus, spread damage gets so much value. You know, it won't always be the right play, but the sheer damage you can deal with just a single attack that hits 2 Tems. Like, Sandstorm is basically spread uppercut. So even if you just hit neutral damage, it's effectively hitting a single target with 2x damage. It's just, you're not bursting a single target down. It's kind of the reason why 2-vine, or 2-kai doesn't see a whole lot of play, is because if you can't actually burst down targets, and you're losing them, even if you're doing spread damage, or like, let's say you use 2 spread hits and do 80% of 2 Tems health, so you get them down to 20% each. But in the process, you lose one of your Tems. So while you're doing effectively 160% damage and only taking 100%, you may still be at a disadvantage, just because it's still going to take you at least 1 spread move or 2 hits to kill one of your opponent's Tems. And if they outspeed you or have priority at all, then it's just not a great situation for you. And even if you do outspeed, you have one board, I guess, where you're doing all right, because you can get 2 kills then. So I guess it's just kind of up to speed in that situation. But all right, Time Construct. I see a Tataru. Also looks like he's got Chimerian, maybe as a second Rage user to pair with Shuin. Ninja still looks really good here if I got rid of Volerund. I think I have to get rid of the Tataru though, just because I don't have a real mental on my team. Bans the Grumper, and then that's probably just assuring that he's going to pick Volerund first. I can't just pick Valiar because there's a Chimerian and an Eerie Digicoish there, so I'm assuming it's going to be Volerund Coish. So that would mean my best option is Kapire. Interesting. I guess he's just going to go for Water Cannon then. Depends on if this is aerobic or anaerobic. Because if it's anaerobic, then I just go for Valiar. It looks like a slower, bulkier team. I'm gonna gamble on it being anaerobic. Because then Shuin, even base speed, should be faster than Volerend. And he won't get the water cannon off. But if he has a faster Volerend, then he'll be able to... Then he'll be able to outspeed kill the Bamboozle, and then still get the water cannon off, which would do like 70% of my health, even with no investment, because super effective and poison ticks. Flash goes down. Seems a little bit like an odd ban. I was thinking about banning Koish, but I think I want to ban Adoro instead. I'm going to pick Nidrasil. I still think it's pretty good here. It threatens Nagais pretty well. Digikoish can't do too much to it. Tyrannak is kind of like an that goes even with it. And Chamurian probably is also relatively even. I'm thinking I'm going to bring Arachnite. I'm thinking Arachnite and Lawale. Because Saipak can get walled by Nagais. And it also can't do anything turn 1 to Volerend if it came down to it. If this is for some reason Frightnack, it would also be crippled. Can't do anything turn 1 to Chamurian either. So I just think in general, Lawale offers more, and then Arachnite is just so flexible, and it's like now it is like immediately a threat as soon as it hits the board, because if it gets one overclock off, it's like, ooh, stonks. So as much as I want to click heat up here, I don't really want to end up bringing in... Oh, it's this Fat Burner Shuin. Does Shuin have higher base speed than Valiar? I think it does. I hear the coin flip sound. Shuin has 81 base speed. Yeah, there's no way Valiar outspeeds that. The computer's not even loading. Valiar has, 72, not a chance. So if he really wants this water cannon damage, he can have it. I don't have a say about it. Like I said, 70-some%. And it's actually an aerobic, or is it anaerobic with special? Well, it's actually an aerobic Volerend, so this was about the worst possible lead I could have gotten here. Because with that, he also, Synergy V-Gust broke my evasion, so I can't avoid the water cannon this turn to finish him off, even though he'd have Tornado anyways. So that couldn't have gone much worse. Not playing Dragon Quest Monsters? No. So I streamed that on Wednesday, and I mentioned in my stream that I am not going to be streaming that anymore. I know that was something that you enjoyed watching, but I'm sorry, I just got completely fed up with it. It was such a pain. Oh, this sucks. Not having any balance updates for the game just made it feel awful to play, honestly. No potential for anything either. As synergy. Well, the thing is, I didn't want him to double in because Kapire is still valuable for me. I can one-shot Chimerian with him. What rewards did I get? I just got a whole bunch of slime cards. That's it. Nothing good at all. He swapped in a Camo Iroquois that happened to eat my Hypnosis. That sucks. Oh no, I also got some Seeds of Skill. Seeds of Skill and metal cards. That's all I got. Even a high elo? I wouldn't call what I got reached high elo. The highest I got was silver. Silver 1. So the highest tier in silver. Disgrace. Alright, I respect that. Or top 20. I mean, I was nowhere near top 20. So that wasn't... I couldn't tell you what rewards you get at that rank. Seems like a squishier Quish. I should be able to finish off with a Plague. The 5 BP difference should be enough to finish it there. Yeah. Just played against him and lost. Oh, well, I'll try and get some revenge for you. Bronze Whip? Oh, no, I'm faster. It's just a base speed Chimerian. I forgot I have speed invest on this Nid. It's kind of a weird set. He went for sharpening though, so he will outspeed me now. Dang, I don't know what he's gonna do here. Just bring in Valiar. First time on Twitch, usually watch on YouTube. Well, welcome, glad you're here. Yeah, I forgot about Disgrace. That's not good on Nidrasil. I might die to a single Embers, but it's better than dying to that Tornado immediately. Since he went for that, I should be able to finish him off with a Hypoxia with Lolly now. And getting rid of Vola is still super nice. That was the fastest thing on his team. Please double, please double. Yes! That's huge. I did not want Valiar Ally that for next turn. It did nothing for me. So that's really, really great for me. I imagine this kills. If he didn't get the special defense drop, it wouldn't have, but I gambled on him clicking a wind move instead of a toxic, so that's good. It paid off. Kapire is good as soon as Schween's gone. Nidrasil is in general pretty good. I think we're just going to bring Nid in now. Because yeah, there's the Schween. Because now what this does is it freezes me up to actually just double the Schween slot. Even if he goes for a CPG on Nidrasil, I think I can take one. I mean, I'm not like a full bulk Nidrasil. I really don't have much bulk at all. But the Chimerian doesn't have hostile boosts. He actually swaps the Chimerian. So that's going to be a dead Schween. Goes for the Quartz Shield. Kind of surprising. What's a bulkier Schween? So, probably max speed and max HP or something. Oh, I don't have Botanist either. I don't think that would have made the difference there, but it would have been a nice damage boost. Disgrace won't work this turn. I think I'm going to swap Lawali out. I have Fake Beard on it, so I get lots of value from swapping it out. I hope Kapire can take one hit. That's all I need it to take. Attack Skink the Tyrannac because true damage on a Court Shielded Tem is really nice. Worst case scenario, he doubles in on Kapire and it dies. Isn't this the only possible way to lose? I don't think so. But I guess he does kill the Kapire here. Maybe I underestimated him. Yeah, I suppose this probably wasn't the right play then. If he goes for Glass Blade on his Chim, then I'm kind of screwed. I was thinking an OX Lawali wouldn't... Oh, I forgot 3 turns of Intim wasn't up yet. That's a really bulky Chimerian. Oh, but he went for Smoldering Kiss. This is still really tough for me. Oh, dang. Why didn't I go for Crystal Spikes on the Tremorian? I'm still warming up here, I guess. I get the special attack boost. I don't actually change my type because of the bug. If he goes for Meteor Swarm here, I think I win because of the whole bug thing. Yeah. Kind of a cheap win there. It makes up for my misplays. What's the bug? I'm not sure when it... So, I am not a crystal type right now. I got hit by a crystal attack, and I didn't turn into a crystal type. So I didn't actually take ×2 damage to that, from that Meteor Swarm. Funny thing is, if I would have actually... Wow, I got promoted last game. That's nuts. So I didn't change into the crystal type when I got hit by the crystal move. I think swapping out and swapping back in would make me the crystal type, and I'm not sure if it's just on the turn that adaptive procs that you don't change. I'm not really sure. I haven't looked into it much. All I'm doing is playing. But because of that bug, I was kind of confident no matter what happened. I was alright. But I definitely should have Crystal Spikes. I think it was a base speed Chimerian. And based on how fast my Arachnite is, I should check just so I know for sure. So base speed Chimerian is 203, and it had Sharpening. So I get... Okay. And so it hit 253 speed. Yeah, so I would have been able to outspeed it had I clicked Crystal Spikes. And then finish it off that way. Your Stall Volphy is faster than that Chimerian. No, I normally run base speed Chimerian as well. Chimerian gets a lot of value from bulk. There's not a whole lot of matchups where it even... It can't click Frond Whip if it doesn't have bulk nearly as easily. Because having half your speed is tough. And most people aren't running max speed on things anyways. Most you'd normally go is like 273. And even then, you can reach it with minimal speed investment and a sharpening. It looks like that guy's definitely just aiming, like leaning into bulk and then going for a sharpening. It worked really well for him. It's just I misplayed and then bug happened. Bulk consume's good, especially with sharpening. Would appreciate more if it wasn't so good against your playstyle. That's fair. That's fair. But hey, you don't deserve to complain. You got like a 12 win streak. uh, Stall's dead. They said. I mean, it's pretty cool. You get a 12 win streak. I don't think I've had that on any of my streams. If it was, it was a long time ago. I mean, I think I've had 12 win streaks before. I think with some of my top tier teams in their prime, stuff like the Tutsu Core, the Doom Evasion, I've definitely had win streaks like that. But the games in like recent patches, I haven't reached anything close. So that's a cool accomplishment. Congrats. We got 2 wins, so that's our 2-win bonus. So is that enough? No, so apparently one of the days... I thought I streamed both Monday and Tuesday. I must not have streamed Monday or something. Or I only streamed a couple games Tuesday. I don't remember what it was. But I'm not sure I'm going to be able to get the weekly mission. Not that I care too much. I've more or less given up on like trying to get cosmetics. The only thing left for me to do is just do these radars over and over until I get perfect Luma of every single kind. But it's like I got a Rolder, my Rolder Luma, and I'm trying to buy ETC Toughen, and it hasn't been on the market in, well, like every other day of the last week I've checked. And I try and like you can't post anywhere on the main Discord and ask, so I have to ask in the trade chat that nobody even bothers to look at, and just hope somebody's there when I'm on. Like I threw a message out there before the start of the stream. As you can see, I'm like getting flooded with DMs. One stream was like, yeah, the Tuesday one, because I wasn't even expecting to. I thought I still did alright that stream, though. I thought I would have got the 2 wins in a row. But I don't know. Yeah, I mean, one of the other things that's kind of crazy is just coming off of we're still relatively new in this patch. This is what the second full week of it being out. I think this is just the second week of it being out. And there's still just nobody on. Like, even during the first week, lots of people saw it, maybe played a couple games, and was just like, this sucks, I'm done. And that's sad to see it, because I do genuinely think it's been a good update. But, you know, every update, you see lots of big names say they're going to quit. And it looks like most people aren't quitting entirely. People, like, Geno said he was done. But then he was on playing a couple games. I thought Tsubaki was done. I haven't seen him on ladder, but it looks like he signed up for one of East's tournaments. Deja supposedly deleted his account. He's been one of the top ladder players for a long time. I'm not really sure why he quit, but it's sad to see. I think Scarsing was done. So lots of people. I mean, I could be wrong there too, but it's kind of the vibe I was getting. Savannah Lions sounds pretty burnt out too. Gotta love seeing a Platox. You'll like hover over it a few times, so they're just like, what? I don't want to deal with another roller end. Be nice if the new gear worked. Yeah, I mean, it would be interesting to try out for sure. A little sad that we don't get that. What do I have to discourage him picking Tarak? The Wally. Which means he either pick. I don't know if this is a Schween's Horn. Platox or not. I think the play is just going to be these two. Double Nature's relatively good against this team. He's got no fires. I banned out the Volarend. You missed Yubaki streams. I mean, those were quite a while ago. I used to watch them sometimes. That was long before I even had the thought to start streaming myself. It is sad a lot of the Temtem streamers have kind of fallen off. It makes me feel even worse that I'm going to start streaming less coming up here. Because, like, without me, y'all are going to have... y'all are going to have less and less content. So, like, you signed up for the Club Wars format? Yeah, that's what it was. That's what it was. I thought about doing the Club Wars, but honestly, like I said, with all the time changes I've got, it's not going to fit in my schedule well. I might maybe see if I can cast a match or two here and there, but even that's just kind of unexpected, probably, if I pop in for that. It's hard to invest a lot more time into Temtem with how things are going. Even if Crema starts releasing good updates now, I don't know how many players are going to come back. I'm very curious to see how their new game does. They announced an announcement date for it. Real Crema thing to do there. I think it was what, February 20th? Let me check real quick. I can't. It doesn't like me. Oh, there. Yeah, February 20th. They're announcing the announcement for the game. I think Valash is going to be good here. Gringo Grumper as well. Subpar, hello, welcome. Thank you for the bits. I appreciate it. You just finishing up your stream? How'd it go? I saw you were streaming something. I wanted to get out my own stream, so I didn't pop in for real long. I just stopped to see what you were playing briefly. I wasn't familiar with the game. Capire gets value here. Serious ad thing was a new game. Thought it was just the arcade bar game being added. So I think the general idea, and from what it sounds like, is Crema was initially developing the arcade bar. And they were kind of struggling to figure out how they could possibly implement an arcade-style system into a Temtem sort of game. And so I think that they just decided they were going to full-on make a different game that's still Temtem themed. And so my hope is that they're going to just release it for free for anyone who owns Temtem. That's just a guess and a hope, but that's about all I got. Fire doesn't do a whole lot here besides like be here on this turn one. Toxic Ink on the Ragnet could be good. Wouldn't choose a feature in the next season. Just make the arcade bar a standalone game and charge $20 for a genius move. Ake's over here trying to get insta-banned with some copy pasta. No, I wasn't expecting that. I am not familiar with that one. No idea what it's supposed to be of. Gonna go with Nox Bomb just in case he swaps to Platox, which is relatively likely. I still don't know if this is a Shween's Horn Platox or not, so my biggest goal is to just take the thing out. Old fighting game copy pasta, my bad. I saw Skullgirls in it. Yeah, I haven't seen that one, especially not for Temtem before. Didn't even read it. Is Kapire worth keeping around? Is the question. It's nice against Tremarian. It's definitely nice against Tremarian. But his defense is lowered. Problem is, he has Shween's Horn. And I think a Venomous Claws just takes him out. I'll swap to Lawali just because it's pretty much a free swap. I'm gonna throw another Toxic Ink at the right. I mean, I didn't care too much if Kapire died. It was literally the least valuable Tem on my team. But it's still like, what? Yeah, Venomous Claws takes me out. So that was -2 defense. Even though Venomous Claws uses his special stat there, it still does physical damage. Now Lawali just comes in. I guess I kind of wanted it for Chimerian, but I think I can manage if it's just Chimerian against the world. Can Plague Platox here, and then I'm just going to Sharp Leaf to deal the chip damage I need to finish off Ragnit. And it's boosted by War Drum, true, yeah. Here for the Luma Egg giveaway that was advertised. Yeah, you and everyone else, right? There were some like 15,000 Wind-Coished Luma Eggs on the market today. I was debating on buying them, just for maybe a giveaway or something, but decided against it. I'd assume he brings in. Oh, really? The Tremarian comes in. I was expecting Volgon and Gorong because it's such a strong combo. The Wally's valuable because it's good against. It's good against Gorong. These two are weak to Gorong. So I'm going to bring in Valash in the Lawali slot. And we're going to Toxic Ink the Chimerian. Because I can break its bait with Triphytologist and still poison it through it. 15,000 for both parents, Luma? Yeah, both parents. But I mean, it was just a Koish egg, so it wasn't very valuable at all. Crystal Spikes on the Volgon slot's good. Even if he swaps to Gorong, I am A-okay with free damage on Gorong. Actually, I lied. I'm going to go for the Chimerian because this thing is pretty much the only thing keeping... Yeah, he did swap here. It's the only thing really preventing me from just kind of cleaning up. Because Volgon's just a support. I don't have to worry about it dealing damage at all. It doesn't kill, so he'll take out my Valash, but that's fine. You would have bought them if you've seen them because you had nothing to spend money on in this game. And do you already have like perfect Lumas of every time you'd actually want? Because that's normally what I prioritize, stuff I actually use in teams. I'll poison the Gorong and exhaust it. Maybe he'll have Wrenching Room Massage and OX turn 1 or something, but that's fine. Born 1,002 eggs. He does have Wrenching Massage, but he looks like he didn't scuff his stamina just because it's not really worth it right now. Oh, that straight up killed! Dang, that's what I get for investing speed in Grumper. That's really not good for me. I really was hoping not to just immediately die there. Because then I would have outsped and got a Dust Vortex off on Volgon. Allergic Spread's good value here. Impure Outburst. He's OXing this turn anyways, so all that does is put me at a little bit of a disadvantage. He's got to kill Lawali this turn, or else he's in a bad spot. I think. Or Nidrasil, I guess. Well, he can't kill Nidrasil. He could kill Lawali, maybe. A T-Strike plus a +1 hook kick, that's going to be really, really close. The economy in this game's great, yeah. You rest on Volgon, or is that like a blizzard? That just killed Nid? Wow, I wasn't expecting that to kill. Oh, and he's got Strangle too. I didn't think about that. It was a refreshing Diabola Volgon, which now procs, and then the game's just over. I guess I needed to respect the Gorong more, and I just didn't. Wow, 1 health. No, the Gorong was only like +1 the when he killed the Nidrasil there. I mean, I'm not the bulkiest Nidrasil alive, but I still had half my health left. GG. Allergic Spread doesn't kill both. Yeah, I should have. If I remembered that the Platox was Schween's Horn for sure, I would have played that game differently. I didn't remember for sure. I couldn't tell. Rematch against Time Construct. Gonna try banning the Volaran this time. I do have Black Hole on Valier. So if it rages turn 1, I should be able to wipe it turn 2 before it gets any speed boosts off. Or before it gets any attacks off with the rage boost. Well, Wally's pretty flexible as just a lead here. If he doesn't pick Schween Tataru, I should be fine anyways. No mods. No, mods are something I really haven't looked into much. I can manage 20 people watching my stream if there's anything chaotic. Can't read out all your guys' comments because you guys are just having full on like side conversations here. You struggled with the Vola when you played against him? Gotcha. Yeah, I mean, Vola's type chart is just like the best in the game, so that's not surprising at all. Still picks the Tataru. Kind of weird, but all right. So one of the interesting things is I do have Wake Up on my Nidrasil, as well as a decent amount of speed investment. So if this Tataru does not have more than 232 speed, I can outspeed it with Wake Up and take it out. Anti-Tataru tech. Gonna take out the Shuin just because I don't want to have to worry about Rage or some Court Shield on something that just ends the game. He just doesn't have a very Saipat friendly team, you know? I don't think I've picked Saipat. No, I picked Saipat in the first game. I picked it in the first game and it died turn 2. Since then, I don't think I've picked Saipat. I would like to keep Lawali alive. I know that an allergic spread plague kills Koish, which is good information. It'll also be nice against Nagais just for a resin trap. Won't be great against Chimerian or Tyrannak, so that's kind of why I'm trying to get it off this board. But Hypoxia on Chimerian can't be underestimated. Valiar is about probably going to have his best board here, and so that's why I'm bringing it in. And a heat up is fine too. He really doesn't have anything that he can do into Kapire. There's the Rage. Smoldering Kiss is kind of whatever. I'm relatively... no, I'm not relatively confident. Swapping Grumper. Intimidate his own Resilient? No, he should swap Tyrannak here. I'm just too afraid of my Kapire dying to a Major Slash. Major Slash is one of the moves that really hasn't got his BP nerfed ever. I don't think. It's still 150 BP, which is really nuts. And +4 on a max attack Tataru, I don't think my Kapire could live. But I can outspeed and wipe its buffs with Black Hole. Yeah, he did swap his Tyrannak. It's nice to see he has to. Yeah, for sure. It was -3 defense Tataru and it still barely took more than half. Sadly, he swapped in the Geis. Actually, this works. I just... Ta-da. Oh no, I can't bamboozle! I'm trolling! No, that was awful. That was terrible. I am trolling. That's not even the first time I've done that. I did that once off stream as well. Maybe he'll swap. Maybe I live. Come on, low attacks, low special attack Nagais, come on. No, not quite. Yeah, that was a painful moment. Tether OXs if it clicks pretty much anything. I can outspeed Valiar with Black Hole, or I can outspeed Nagais with Black Hole because of Deceitor. But it's just a question of what do I even want to click it on. Because I can click it on the Nagais and then go for Nox Bomb and hope it kills. Swaps the Tattoo. Gonna save it for later. Swaps in Koish. So that means Lawali will be really good on this board next turn. That full sack of the Grumper is gonna bite me in the butt though. Not what I was expecting for sure. Oh, he's gonna go for the Prio Zen Med. That's what he's gonna do. Because he'll just Psy Surge Valiar here, rest on Koish, and then next turn he'll have priority Zen Med. Which I think is fine. He can't double into the slash, so he may have brought in Koish here, but all it's doing is getting its holds off. It really doesn't do anything else. Maybe he could Cyber Claw, and since it goes slower, he's just gonna swap out the Koish to Tyrannac. Okay, weird choice, but works for me. Doesn't even go for the Psy Surge. Maybe he doesn't have it. That would be weird. That would be weird not to have it. It's his second hold off on Tyrannac, so he does have Meteorite. I have two natures. I mean, Naga pretty much always swaps here. So the question is, killing which of these two Tems is more important to him? I have to imagine it's the Compire, but if I'm... or the Nidrasil, but if I'm wrong, that'll hurt. I do wish I had Energy Drink Nidrasil, though. That would have made everything different. But I'm trying out Slingshot anyways. He always swarms? I mean, that works too. As long as he swaps the guys. Yeah, it's too much of a disadvantage after the complete troll play with Grumper. Because not only did I waste one turn, I wasted two. Yes, block your own disgrace. Ouch, pain. I can't even really trap the Chim. So my Lawali, Kapire, and Nidrasil are all the same speed. So my Lawali goes first here, so it's not like I can just go into the Chimerian and then hope to come back later. The guy has everything it wants off hold. He swapped in the Tataru, hoping that I would. I could have saved me, and you're right. Hoping that I would kill the Tataru here and then proc the trait. But it's also just got Bestial Charge. He can click and that'll kill a Wally at this health. He didn't get the hold off of Zenmed on his Koish, so that's not a possibility for him. He probably just brings in the guys, just betas. Well, he brings in the Koish, okay. That's not terrible. Ember's the Tataru? I guess this is still bad because then he'll get the hold off of Zenmed. And I don't have any low prio moves to fight the Nagais. He was faster anyway, so it didn't matter. And he goes for a major slash. The Pyre will absolutely die to the Fury then. And then it would be up to Nidrasil to 1v3 Nagais, Koish, and Naga. So that's just too tough. Too much to ask for. Yeah, you waste 2 turns and then that can mess up an entire game. No matter... Plus the... yeah, I didn't stand a chance there. The funny thing is, if I didn't have bait there, I would have won. Or he would have had to play completely differently because I would have been able to protect the Grumper. And then I would have been able to one-shot the Nagais. I just want to make sure this kills. I imagine it does. Yeah, I went to killed from full, I don't think, though. It's got double screen on it. I should have just banned the Tataru again, dealt with the Volarin. Now that I knew that it was aerobic, I could have managed it better. And Tataru was just like I black holed the thing, and it still got 2 major slashes off, and an extra energy slam, doing probably 150% worth of its HP, and just forcing me to target it. Aerobic was 0 HP invest. Yeah, it definitely seemed like the 0 HP for sure. Got demoted again. That's fine though. We got 2 promos and 2 wins, which was kind of nuts. Haven't been able to pick Arachnite much either. It came in clutch that one match, but feels like I would keep playing with the same 5 Tems. No Psypat, no Arachnite. Just the rest of them. I mean, if Triphytologist isn't getting a whole lot of value either, not nearly as much as I'd want it to. Only reason Nidrasil is really doing anything is because it's Nidrasil. It's got a cracked typing and crazy stats with an amazing move pool. but I'm not getting a whole lot of exhaust value. Maybe the stamina bug is to blame for that a little bit. But it seems like most players are just okay taking a 2-turn rotation with an exhaust on the third attack. Or just swapping. Toxic is still prevalent enough as a type that it kind of hurts that Ninja still gets walled completely by that as well. Like, I could add Narco Hit and then change from Slingshot to Energy Drink, which would probably be pretty useful. I really haven't gotten any Slingshot value. I don't face a lot of Earths. Because the two most common Earths are, one, Volphy, in which Nox Bomb or Toxic Ink would give me more value than Sharp Leaf, and Turok, which hits me super effective, and I don't want to be on that board. Other than that, every other Earth just kind of sucks. Like, Gario is an insta-win no matter what nature you're running. Pretty much. Mudrid is just worse Bun Bun. Gallios, I would probably want to push off the Doom with my Toxic Ink combo. And then it doesn't matter how fast I take it down. What else even is there for Earth types? I know there's more. Acronox. Acronox, I'd want to click it, but I also really don't do much at all to an Acronox. And Narco Hit would be just fine. Gary Points is debatable. Yeah, I know. I mean, Gario. I've won against Volphies with Gario because the first plague I eat with Autotomy, and then this Cold Geyser does over half, just barely, and then I live the second plague and then finish with the second Cold Geyser. I don't think I've ever won against any other nature, though, so it's just Volphy. And I mean, you can, like, chip others down, so if they try and get a swap, you can kind of punish them for that. But it's tough. I've maybe finished off a couple Ninja Seals from, like, 30% health with Soil Steams, just because Spores doesn't do enough damage. Is this the team I put together? Or does it just happen to be like a lot of really... No, this is the one I made. I was gonna say I look familiar. Warwick, hello, welcome. If I lose here, I only have myself to blame. One of those games, you know? Gary's eating the plague from an amphitheater and harmful microwaves from a hedgeon in the same game. Well, you run the Kaleidoscope, Gary. So you have to run it bulkier or else it just doesn't get any value. An amphitheater it commonly doesn't run a lot, if any, special attack. Nova Lash. I think that's okay. It makes Sand be a bit more of an issue, but we should be able to manage. Why do I make teams like this? I have, like, nothing that aptly counters anything. Go Nidrasil! Woo! Nidrasil! It's about my best option because like I said earlier, I don't want to be in front of a Turok, but a Sharp Leap would definitely hurt it. And then I can threaten out Tolkien with Saipat. It would end up being a trade. Okay, Gazuma Tolkien. That makes sense too. Looks like a Season 3 team. Well, has anything changed since Season 3? I just threw this team together very quickly because they wiped the squad sharing channel, and there wasn't anything left in there. So I wanted at least something out there for people to use if they wanted. And this was just a lot of consistent Tems that are a pain in the butt. Plus Tataru. Mixing up who's talking to you. Luckily for me, everyone's got the same color every time they pop into the stream. Like, I'm not sure if you guys always have the same color. Every time I send a message, it's a different color. No, not the no arachnite again. That's sad. I banned the Volphy, and then Grumper's good. Grumper's my remaining best counter to Sandby. It's when I singled you out. Yours is always orange? Gotcha, gotcha. I wonder why it changes mine every time. Because I can confirm that I was. What color am I today? Yeah, I'm the light cube someone green. Psypat's kind of a must here, and I think Kapire is. Well, you see, I know that this is actually a slow Chimerian that has fake beard instead of energy drinker bait. So the disadvantage of facing me with my own team is that I sort of know exactly. So okay, so apparently it's just streamer privilege to be different colors every single time. Didn't even pick the token. I guess I had Grumper and Psypat, but that's still a little surprising. If this is a Lawali for Platamus trade, that's worth it for me. Surprise gear swaps. Well, considering the baits on the Gazuma here, I think it's just going to be my straight up my team. So I'm not too worried. Platamus spread I didn't calc much for. I just made sure I could live a Turok Turbine, which is like the strongest. No! No, my slingshot! He knew. Why do people run fake beard instead of bait on Shim? It's usually if bait is on something else. Because Receptive Gazuma gets a lot of value out of bait. Otherwise, it just has a dead trait. Oh man, that thing almost lived. Because of the rotten goo. Random color for everyone. Yeah, I mean, usually when I pop into a stream, it seems like everyone else is a different color. But for me, I'm just glad that from the streamer point of view, you guys are all the same. Know what the coolest gear is on Gazuma? Marbles? I think I have marbles on the Tolkien. Yeah, I knew. Yeah. See, it was a secret plan that I didn't want to play against marbles, so I just didn't. Turok I can deal with Psypat. So I don't need Lawali here. But I would like... I don't even really need Yggdrasil. I might just leave the thing in. Get rid of that bait, because I'm dying to a tornado here anyways. That's just the best value I can get. Haven't heard the Daily Marbles rant yet? Well, we haven't run into it, fortunately. Whoa, no tornado. Very surprising. He's just really going for the Lawali here. I think I take that. Yeah, maybe not. Probably knows Yggdrasil's useless. I mean, I just got rid of his bait, and I'm about to wake up that Sambi too. No point in plaguing. I underspeed everything. He'll either go for him or he won't. You don't mind marbles, but that's probably because stam coking method is scuffed. That could be. That could definitely be. Like, look at that stamina drain. It's not doing nothing. It's just doing next to nothing. There's a difference. If it wasn't for the stam bug, it may have OX there. Oh, still nothing. Dang, he's really challenging me here. I mean, I am A-okay to just bring in Grumper now. Hello X if he clicks Tornado on Gazuma now. So, I mean, the moveset is Tesla Prison. I think I have Electric Storm over Hurricane, so I don't have to worry about dying to Hurricane. They'll probably just swap out the Gazuma now, though, just for Psypat later. I think there's a higher chance he swaps Sandby and leaves Gazuma in than the other way around. Bamboozle it instead. Bamboozle the Gazuma? He did go for the Tornado. And I'm surprised he stayed in on the Sandby. I wonder what he's going to do. Oh, shoot, he's going to Strangle. No, I have bait, so that doesn't work. That was just an oversight by him. Except for mine earlier. Wait, no, there's an adrenaline shot. I have Sweatband on my Sambi. I just realized. Huh. So yeah, that is. It just happens to be the same exact team in the same exact order, and he must have just swapped some stuff around. I'm just gonna click Electric Storm. I'm sure he's swapping for Chimerian, but I believe I would kill the Sandby here. I do have A shot on Sandby. Oh, because I have Sweatband on the Platymus, don't I? Yeah. That's what I did. And I also have Strangle, so it has some synergy. It's not that awful. There's the Chimerian. Double swap. What was his? Oh, Turok. Yeah, it's kind of painful. I need Grumper alive. Grumper can deal with Samby and... No. Grumper can deal with Sandby and Gazuma. But Psypat's important here. He might swap back into one of them. Because I'm not attacking him here. Like, if he swaps Samby into the Chimerian slot right now, I'm probably toast. Side Feathergat, that'd be the play. He goes for Feathergat, and on the Valiar for that matter, too. Can Bamboozle now, and then I'll go for the Nox Bomb onto the Turok. So even if he does do something crazy like a side wake up, that I will be able to dodge it. Even with Gazuma +2 speed, I should be able to outspeed it with a Venomous Claws. However, unfortunately, in the Sambi's case, I'm pretty sure I have it at 200 speed. So now that it's +2, it will outspeed my Saipat because I did slow my Saipat down just a little after the Hedge and nerf. He's got Tornado back up, so he can outspeed me again. I don't think this kills Turok, but maybe it will. Remember, Saipat gets stabbed now. Yeah, no, not quite. I mean, we just black hole, make sure it kills the Gazuma. Save some stamina on Saipat, I might need it. I guess I could have gone for Gazuma, I don't know what he clicked. I guess he went for the Tesla prison. Oh, he went for the Electric Storm. Okay. I live that. Kind of surprising, but I guess I live. What is my Gazuma spread? I don't think I should have lived that. I know I have effective denial. Telekinetic may not have even killed. I must have gotten really bulky on the stupid thing. Valiar not looking like absolute trash. I know, it's very, very nice. I appreciate it. $249 special attack. Sounds about right. It's not bad. Not great. I get outsped by Glass Blade and Dozing Hit. Transient here. That's painful. And because he gets one transient off, he'll get the other one too. It's really tough facing your own speed tiering, so when like you know exactly when they're gonna outspeed you. If he overreads this, I'm going to bed at 8 p.m. What does he mean when you mean he overreads it? Like, I mean, he could very easily just transient to Valiar and then I'm still toast. Well, the thing is, and I don't know if he knows it, but I can't one-shot his Chimerian with Nicho. It'll do about 70%. It'll put it in Sludge Gift range, but it won't kill it. Rested, not even a Strangle. Very, very interesting choice. I guess I could have black holed the Sandbee at some point and then wiped its speed buffs. That probably would have been the play. Now if he wants to kill Grumper, he has to double in. He could like break the evasion and then Hypno. Because Chimerian is at 203, has his Prio available with Glass Blade, and then Sambi's at effectively 300 speed. Would Nitro outspeed Tekko? No, it didn't. It would not. And he goes for the kill on Valiar. Zambi does not have Bamboozle, so I don't have to worry about anything here. Except if it somehow lived, which it did not. He could have won that game. I just don't think he maximized his speed tiering. He may still be a little bit unfamiliar with the team. Playing a team made by somebody else, you probably don't know all the ins and outs of it. Good game. Was very close. Very, very losable on my part. Why not kill the Valier? Yeah, it was... I mean, he did kill the Valier. He killed it with Chimerian. He didn't need the stamina. I'm a bit surprised he didn't Tekko it just to take the... So he didn't take the chip damage on Chimerian, but by that point it just didn't matter. The rest turn... Yeah, the rest turn is when Grumper was bamboozled and Chimerian... and Valiar had like no health. It had like 20 some health, and then it just died to Glassblade. So there was absolutely nothing that Sambi could do there. I guess what he could have done is he could have used Transient and then used Sharpening, and then hoped that a glass... No, that still wouldn't have worked. Yeah. He could have outsped the... That was the turn before. What I don't remember what he did there. Oh no, did he rest twice? Yeah, I'm not really sure. It's definitely a little bit of a weird end game. I know sometimes when people face me, they'll like feel bad if they beat me using my own teams. Like you don't have to by any means. Like I make the teams for you guys to use, and there's no reason to throw a match. It's not like I'm ever trying to push. I'm just trying to have fun. I'm just trying to get a good idea of like tier list at the moment, which is what I mentioned earlier. And gee, it's almost like every single Tem on that team is like A tier. Maybe Tatter being S. Who would imagine? It's not like the team uses any creative or cool things. It's just top tiers thrown together. Playing other people's teams is great practice. You're right. I know Millie gave me a couple teams that I should have played, and then I just never did. It was during when I was playing roller teams. He made me a couple of roller stall teams, and I never gave him a chance. I still feel a little bad about that, but time is finite. Tierlist better not be wrong. I mean, I hope it's not. I mean, I always get, it's funny. I do get a few dislikes. Usually my tier lists are my most disliked videos. It's also one of my more viewed videos, so it makes sense that the dislike ratio would be a bit higher. But it's just funny. I gotta imagine the people are just like, why would you do this? Why would you put Golder in A tier? I didn't do that. I put it in D tier. And so they're just like, insta dislike. People also do it on the in-depth guides, and it's just like, first of all, if you know enough about the game, why are you watching the guide that you want to start judging my spreads? Second, well, if you think you can do it so well, why don't you? Why don't you do it? Thoughts on Gallios after the change to 6-turn Doom? I think it's extremely niche. I don't think it's going to see a lot of use. It's really hard to justify it in almost any game plan. It's probably around in the same spot as Gulder, where it does one thing really well, and what that is it beats stall. What Gulder does is with Infectious now it just stops healing, and It's just stuff like it'll go into like the category of niche. I know that rather than having a letter tier list like A B C D, that's I gotta pick something here, and I wasn't paying attention at all. I know that Temtem France has their tier list based on basically nicheness and general viability sort of thing. I got lost. Yeah, in the niche list tier list, I think it would be definitely towards the bottom. I'm not sure like in a general tier list where it would be because its typing is still nice, but its trait will always be niche. I haven't really tried it. I really should try it more. It's just never really managed it. All right, so this is interesting. This is like the one good use case for slingshot because I should be able to one shot the Gary. I think I'm gonna ban. I mean, I have allergic spread on Lawali, so it's not like Mix is an immediate threat, but I don't have a lot of things to even hit it. No, we're gonna ban the Raiken. Fire's pretty nasty for me, and Raiken is the nastier one of options. Lawali I'll pick. Yeah, I'm definitely getting behind on messages. Slide you the roller stall link, maybe if you remind me at some point. Nog is S tier. I mean, Nog is definitely cool in its own right. I don't know where I'd place it on the tier list at the moment. Just a Temtem hater in general. Could be. Just like YouTube video and is already weird enough in itself. The only time I almost never dislike YouTube videos, so I completely agree with you. One of the only times when I did is when one of my favorite YouTubers, I don't even watch a whole lot of YouTube. I watch like one guy, his name's Ryukar, he just does like Mario Maker content. It's a really good game to stream because every single video you get different stuff, and he's got the skills to pull it off. But anyways, he for some reason did a collaboration with one of those really like cringy like VTuber models. Not like an actual like humanoid model. It was the one with like the Velociraptor and the hamburger. I don't remember what it was called, but it was just disgusting. And he got so many dislikes on it. I think he just removed it. It's just a really good way to tell a YouTuber that this is you're like what you're doing is bad and this is not something you should do. Nobody wants to see it. Like we're gonna T-strike the spider because if he stays in, he won't get his trait with Tyrannac, which is good. Anyways, those tangents. Don't see Momo and Best Boy. I am actually not a. First of all, I'm allergic to dogs and cats and pretty much anything with hair. So I've never grown attached to any pet animal. But even if I wasn't, I wouldn't. I'm just not a huge fan of them in general. So I don't think I would. I would never put a dog like Momo high in a tier list unless it was literally that viable. Was the Umbra? It was Raiken. Running Goulder is now matchup fishing. Yeah, it is kind of funny. I got a team redeem. We'll get to that. Most gears are build special defense to defense. True. But even so, like 97 or whatever base attack, it's like 92. I don't feel like doing the math. Or it's like 80. It's basically the same as Plague. But I have max attack, which is higher than most. I can kill Tyrannac with a Nox Bomb now. I don't really want to kill off Grumper, but getting some damage on Chimerian is probably worth it. Also has CPG. A little surprising. Free damage on Chimerian is great for me. Kaleido Gary to ensure overclock Arachnite. That would have been interesting. Would have respected that for sure. Raid Shadow Legends collab? No, it wasn't that. Only dislike videos that spread false information. That's another good reason too. I don't watch anything any like YouTubers that would do that. Go like my YouTube videos. Drop the URL. Can't see the dislikes though. Yeah. Uh, you don't have to just like them to like them. I just use it as a judge for it. Like I said, if I'm doing something right or if I'm doing something horribly wrong. No pet turtle. I had some pet hermit crabs. Hermit crabs will always hold a special place in my heart. When I get a little bit older, get my own place, I'm probably going to look into getting an aquarium. I do like fish, if you can't tell. Pookie's a cool one. Lash and Lawale are important for mix, so I'm going to bring in Arachnite here. Now, the question is, I don't know if this Arachnite is now electric type, because a turn has passed. And so, purely to figure out how this bug works, I am going to Crystal Spike that slot. I just hit it with a Thunderstrike. I'm going to double into that slot. Live, 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 live. No! Oh, well, we're just figuring this out anyways. It says electric in the menu. It says electric on his type. It says 2x as well. And, okay, that did look like 2x damage, so it probably is. I mean, he just goes for another Glass Blade and kills my Arachnite. We see the same thing that did not look like 2 times damage. Did you see my Thunderstrike? My Thunderstrike is the first thing that hit it from my Grumper. Like, I turned it electric type with my Thunderstrike. Keep that in mind. And that did barely over 50%. Stab invested. And then a non-stab Crystal Spikes doing a little bit, or whatever it did, makes perfect sense. Okay, there's the marbles, there's the marbles, there's the marbles. There's the marbles. Gonna lose my marbles. That one didn't matter too much, but if I do die by like 18 health, I'm gonna be sad. Worth pulling that one up on Temtem. There's no shot. We definitely can after this. Yeah, I needed a Hypoxia. I don't think it would have been kind of close. Okay, it may matter. It very much may... Nah. Is he going for Denigrate here? Isn't +2 special attack basically stab? Is your special... Oh, shoot. I forgot I got hit first. No. I used my Crystal Spikes before he hit me, so I did not have the adaptive boost first. I just use Crystal Dust. I don't need to use Ninja. So it's got double screen. Oh yeah, I got Scavenger too. Phantom Whiplash. Earn YouTube dislike is an extension you can download for that. I mean, it's not like I want to relish in the dislikes. Ha ha ha, my plan is to gain them. Nah. Big Mads, hello, welcome. How's it going? I mean, I'm just kind of hanging out today, just trying to get a better grasp on the meta so that I can give a more accurate tier list on this weekend or whenever I get around to it. GG. Alright. Gonna auto dislike every one of Mag's videos. That'll be funny. I think somebody else already has that. All right, so I don't remember if I think I may have left the. We're gonna switch scenes because we had a request to look up. Yeah, I left my wonderful drawings up there. So we're gonna hide those because I just want the internet, and this just happens to be the same tab. I should make a separate tab, but it's not there yet. All right. Anyways, so the damage calculator. I believe I'm just max special attack on Arachnite. So 500 special attack. Crystal Spike. That's the trait. Crystal Spikes. All right. Onto this slot, and then we'll get another Arachnite. And just gear, double screen. He didn't have any. We'll just go max HP. I don't know what his stats actually were, but I know it had double screen. So you can see here that the damage I dealt is 16.7. So this is with max special attack invest against a typical Arachnite with max HP and double screen. So 2 times damage, since I can't give myself crystal type, or I can't give Arachnite crystal type to, or electric, whatever, would be about 32%, which is pretty much how much it did. So it was indeed the electric type. Why is that so low? Do you remember the stat buff that the thing got when it didn't need it? It got a nice boost. Well, I guess it's already got really respectable HP and special defense stats. But it also got a nice buff to defense, stamina, and just a little bit more. So, pretty nuts. At the same time, while I got this pulled up, we had a request for a. I almost clicked on my own YouTube link because that was up there too. We got a team review from someone dumb. All right, I'll just move this to this monitor now. So this looks like a pretty standard Hazrat. It is max speed though. Normally I'd kill Hazrat to live something. I don't know what. What is Hazrat to live like a Turok turbine? Or turbine. Is that too much? It might be too much. Yeah, okay, that's probably too much. How about a rockfall at least? And that lives that naturally. So I mean, I guess you could go with 0 speed. I would usually invest some amount of HP because it's pretty uncommon that your Hazrat's like, even though it has venomous claws now, the chances that it's going to take a turbine at some point because you don't have synergy with lava wave and you're not facing a two-vine is pretty high. Maybe you want the speed though. It doesn't really reach any speed break points this way. Also, I just realized the stamina. This seems like way overkill. I would just go for a 3-turn rotation, which would triple 29. That's like what, 76? I guess I don't know that one offhand. Triple 27 is 71 plus, so it would be 77. 77 stamina. And then a little bit in HP. I don't know what you're trying to outspeed at that speed break point either. It's not fast enough to outspeed Inky and Shelllant and stuff. And most stuff below Hazrat doesn't even run max speed. Sweatband 2, oh my goodness, I missed that. I was just like Toxic Farewell. Just make me hate it and run marbles on the thing too. Its offensive type is so crazy that people almost always have to pivot into it. And then you just get free. And plus, you're probably picking it on lead just because it's a relatively safe lead a lot. Feather Gatling and War Drum, that's fair too. All right, but that's all just recommendations. I also like max attack over max speed. I'm kind of curious, just like where Hazrat sits on the speed. It's really not as high as you probably think it is, because Hazrat's down here. So you're not going to outspeed the Inky. You're not going to outspeed a Golzi, Nagais, Platamus, even a max speed Chimerian. If Size Munch, Saipat, it doesn't. And then if you look below it, most Lawalies, I don't think I really see them run a lot like max speed very often. Or Phil, you're not going to die to. Scunch doesn't usually run max speed. I guess aerobic Volarend, that would be something, but that thing stacks speed anyways. All it takes is one wind burst, and all of a sudden it's faster than you. Maybe Vental now, maybe Mooflank. It's hard to say. Valyar runs Fat Burner, Acronox, no speed. Whiplump has Plethoric. Tuvine usually doesn't run max speed. So it's just like you scroll down the list and you're like, what even? You get Nesla. Nesla's like the first one you run into that could definitely run max speed, and it would be a relevant matchup for you. So I would say at absolute max speed, I would just go 273. But even then, I'm just not a fan of fast rat. You can save 100 TVs that way. You can max out your attack pretty much. And you could take it out of attack too and just save the stamina and put it in HP. That's a 77. I'm just throwing numbers around, but it's just the general idea. No ad block on my browser. I I mean ads are how websites get money. So I've gotten crap about it many times before, but like I appreciate the wiki and I'm glad that they're doing this for us. So it's just like if they can get some money just from me using it, who cares? 280 is great against 273 creepers. The only other relevant matchup is the potential Gazuma. Sometimes you'll see max speed Gazuma, and I guess Gazuma is just a couple points under Hazrat. But most Gazumas invest like 700 in bulk, so it's not often you'll see one max speed, but if you do, it would hurt. Okay, this looks pretty standard. Resistant, I think, is always the best trait. Receptive really isn't that great. Iron coating's good for damage. I don't know what 66 is for. I think 65 is the breakpoint for triple soil steam. So you can save just a couple TVs there. Boost your special attack by like one. Plus, I still genuinely would run Bun Bun over Mudrid right now. Like, I honestly would. I think Bun Bun with new resilience is really cracked. Nidrasil. Okay, so now it's kind of interesting. You have a. I guess I didn't pay attention to the Gario Saku Scaravolt, but it looks like half your team is really fast. You get Barnshee, Mudrid, Hazrat, Barnshee, Golzy, with almost max invest on every single one. And then you get Nidrasil, Gario, Saku, and Scaravolt, where you have no speed invest. So just as a team in general, it's going to be really tough to get a lot of value. I know you love your Kaleidoscope Gario. I'm a little, and I think that's fine. You've really surprised me a few times with it. It's good for Hazrat. I think, have you thought of putting like Show Off or even Rage on your Goldsy instead of Charged Iron Filings? Because then you have a second lead set up if Hazrat gets banned. I guess you probably have it's just Nidrasil Scaravolts as a combo, pretty much. Should look at the type chart. You got a nasty Earth weakness, but you cover it well, so you may be able to pull it off. But the thing is, like, you don't have like Nidrasil may resist Earth, but it doesn't threaten it out. Barnshee, same thing. Barnshee also can't swap into Stone Balls and Rock Falls and stuff. So it's basically you have Saku and sort of Gario, which is not without autonomy, not able to take hits as well. You're going to struggle against Earthside, imagine. You only have one mental with your Deluge from Mudrid, which is probably kind of tough. I guess what this really looks like is an all or nothing team. Because you'll have some situations where you'll just have type advantage and outspeed and you'll just ruin your opponents. And then you'll have other matchups where you don't even stand a chance because your opponent gets to choose whether they face the fast side of your team or the slow side of your team. So if your opponent has a lot of control options, they'll probably ban out the fast options on your team. Like if Barnshee gets banned and maybe Mudrid gets banned too, then all of a sudden you're pretty weak to sleep. I guess you have energy drain. I guess so that's not even that bad. Bamboozle now might be an issue. Valier outspeeds Hazrat. Won't outspeed Mudrid, but who cares? It's a Mudrid. Maybe you ban out the Mudrid first and leave the Barnshee around initially. Because you'll also outspeed the Barnshee, because Fat Burner Valyar is like 300. But I mean, moveset wise, this is okay. It's just kind of like a bruiser Nidrasil. I think you could consider Toxic Ink here since you don't have any attack invests. I know you have Spores and Allergic Spread, so maybe maybe you tested that and it's better without it. Spread is pretty standard. You don't have not having Bark Shield is probably all right because you don't have that much bulk. Barnshee looks relatively okay. It's just gonna be a glass cannon. It can't take hits. You got fake beard on it. You might not even need this much stam invest, but maybe this helps for a 3-turn rotation. I'm an advocate for Barnshee getting Phantom Whiplash, personally. I think that would help his 3-turn rotation a ton. The Gario, I mean, you've tested this Gario plenty, and it seems to work. It doesn't like natures, but and it only gets 1 turn of its trait, but it can flip games. Golzy, yeah, pretty standard. You have two natures. Like I said, you could swap this for like Show Off or Rage. I like Lifeful Sap over Pedal Dagger. Boomerang is good enough as a turn 1. And Lifeful Sap is just great because Saku will end up in many late games where you really just need the extra bulk, and then if you have survivability, you can win. Like you could win like 2v1s with Saku because all you got to do is get an end game where your opponent only has like a Turok and an Amphitheater left, but you're at like 40% health. You want a Lifeful Sap before you Frond Whip, and then you don't die to the double in or something. I don't know. I've had situations where Lifeful Sap has done more for me, more than I would have wanted to have a turn 1 nature move that really has no kill potential in anything. Like Pedal Dagger can't one-shot Noshiara. It might not even do half to a Turok. So it's just kind of like, is it really doing a whole lot? And maybe it does. I haven't actually tested it. I've just had a lot more success with Lifeful Sap. Scaravolt set's pretty standard nowadays. Putting some defenses here I think is good because you get less value from your HP with half full, but more from your defenses. Speed Invest is good for creeping. And I'm not sure what that stamina rotation's for. I think it's just like, is that how you can get away with the triple T strike anymore? It seems a little low. Oh no, you actually have 1 stamina more than you need there for triple T strike, so you could actually drop it by 1 if you want. All right, no, I'm completely ignored chat for the entire time, and you guys have been chatting it up. Talking about speed creep, Barnshee. I know people were like, Barnshee needs stat buffs, so Barnshee got stat buffs. And then they're like, well, Barnshee needs more stat buffs. Well, yeah, what are you trying to make it so he can live a T-Strike or what? Don't usually lead Rotten Gary because mind games are fun. Yeah, I guess mind games is just yeah. That's really what this game or this team is. It's just like I said. I said it's all or nothing, but it's gonna be how much knowledge does your opponent have, and how much do they predict you, which I guess is kind of most games. But if you face somebody who's running more than 1 Earth, maybe more than 2 Earths, I think you're just kind of toast. Speed Invest Gario is very underrated. Lunar Panther has been a advocate of Speedy Gario for a while. So many water double-ins you live with a bit more special defense invest. You don't take neutral stam regen into calcing your stam. Oh, gotcha. No 1,000 bulk scale. Do most people do that? I feel like they don't. So, I mean, those are kind of my thoughts. I actually go up to 81 stamina on Saku, just because there's lots of times where it does stick around forever, and getting that increased point of stam, I think, is important. It's one of the only Tems that I actually bother with that with, but it's one where I do. I don't know. Does Barnshee actually see any success? Its typing is nice. How do you? I guess you cover. It's the only electric week on your team. I guess that's kind of what allows you to play it. And you only have 2 Digi weeks.
It either does or it doesn't. Yeah, I mean, its special defense can is not something to be ignored. Like 79 base defense, that's very similar to mix, and it's pretty good. And now that it has 63 base HP, it doesn't just instant die. Like this thing, if it takes a plague from a Volphy, it'll probably take less than a third. It would probably be a 4-hit KO, even at almost base. Calc it just for fun. Because I mean, I've back when I was playing Mom's Lunch Barnshee. Okay, so you'd probably want actually a little bit of special defense just so you don't die. And there you go, 19 HP, and all of a sudden it's a 4-hit KO for Volphy Plague on your Barnshee. So I would consider that. Just because there you will see some Volphies every once in a while, and because this thing's also kind of a special defense tank, you never know when it's just going to come down to just you need to or just a beatdown between the two in an end game, and having that extra HP could be the difference between winning or losing. Also, it's a really good like pivot for plagues because it doesn't get the exhaust. So all just stuff to think about. Just my suggestions. Nothing you have to do for sure. You just say Barnshee's typing is nice. It's nice offensively. It's nice offensively, not defensively. It's annoying how good Blue Side is getting speed arrow and better pick ban. Looking at pick bans, the main issue. I mean, if I had to pinpoint the issue with the game, I probably couldn't. A lot of the issues just stem from some Tems being stronger than others, or at least more consistent. Because Temtem's really got an issue right now where, because we actually have so many archetypes that are relatively viable. It's just that they're only viable in certain situations. So you may be able to win 70 or 80% of matchups, but that other 20-30% you will always lose. So that's why people opt for consistency and try and reduce matches down to ones of skill. Because you may be able to, like, the only way you can get above that 80, 70, 80% win rate is to kind of just have it be a skill match. And so having very consistent Tems, like most wind types and toxic types, just seems to be the way to go. Mental Wind's a great typing, but its most effective types against it have Crystal Spikes. I mean, DC Beam doesn't really count, but you got like Paizo and Hasty. Digi, Microwaves, yeah, it's tough. On the new game, you only got community helpers left. Swarm gonna save Temtem for real? Oh yeah, 100%. Nah. Moral of the story is give Gamma Burst Prio with no drawback. I think in my patch notes, what I did is I gave Gamma an extra hold, but reduced his stamina cost by like half. So that all of a sudden it kind of felt good as a 2-hold, a stam efficient option that also exhausts and does tons of damage. Love watching Tolkien for 2+ years of content. Yeah. Would appreciate Mentals not being weak to Digis. Yeah, I mean, they're never going to change the type chart, so we just got to deal with it. Alright, there's Quad Water. And my only electric is a Grumper, who's also weak to it. If I ban the Mastion, that opens up my natures. Now, I've always run Shinobi Tactics Psypath, but some people don't know that, so maybe he could ban it. In old version of Type Chart, Wind was strong against Earth. I remember that. Crazy that Wind was even stronger than it is now. That was back during the alpha. But and I'm not sure how long it lasted. I only played really up through the first island because I think that was all that was out way back then when I played, and so I never got to even face an Earth type. Idrisil's pretty strong here. Looks like a Brutal Felix inspiration. I was thinking it had a few more. I mean, yeah, Brutal Felix or Welsh inspiration for sure. I didn't even see the Tatteru. No, I forgot about the Tatteru. Tatteru is so stupid because nowadays all it is like, I want to play the rest of my OP core, and you can't ban it out because I have a Tem that'll solo or guaranteed get twice as much value as it's worth. At least. So that much is kind of frustrating. Fever, hello, welcome. Glad you're able to make it. That's cool. Yeah, I guess it's a weekend. Never know what you're able to make it to. It's hard to have a schedule that meets everyone's expectations. He put it at the bottom on purpose, if you ask me. Well, I mean, yeah, you get threatened by like a freeze water core here, and then all of a sudden, Tatteru. So it's tough. Accurate. And the Tat, I know, but my options for dealing with his team in general are really, really, really limited. Like he banned out a water and like he's just type stacking, and I don't have the correct type to beat him. We pick the Grumper so we can deal with Inky. We pick the Valash so we can deal with anything in general. We pick the Valyar so that we can deal with Tatteru. And then why in the world would we ever pick Kapire into a triple or quadruple water plus earth team? So we'll take some freeze Tems and Tatteru. Daring, aren't we? Yeah, I don't know. I can't do like a Squidward impression or anything. But I know the meme. Drill Mimit. Interesting. Now, Ninjasil's kind of nice, but he doesn't have a lot of kill potential on me right now. Worst thing he can do is a couple special, like, or a couple Rotten Goose. But Acronox is the biggest thing preventing me from kind of doing things. He does go for... I guess that turns me into an Earth type. That was his plan. I didn't think about that. Oh my goodness, that did half its health. Huh. Maybe we just do another one. I'd outspeed a Rotten Goo that would disable my item and prevent me from killing. He doesn't have an electric to give it prio. And this is the only point in the game where Valash does anything for me. I mean, I guess, like, Arachnite won't be doing a whole lot for me either, but I can bring it back in against Acronox and it'll be alright. It'll be alright against Tatteru, too. He does go for the aquatic and just take the Platamus tree. I mean, Valash goes down, but if Platamus for Valash is worth it. It's just worth it. And his Mimit's running out of stamina, too. Every time Tatteru's meta, he's brain dead. Alright, here's what we're gonna try. We're gonna just smack the Tatteru. Hope I don't quite knock it into Resilient, and if I do, maybe it'll die to the poison. And if it doesn't, there's always wake up. Countering mentals feels so easy during team building. That's definitely a factor. Tyler's the Swiss Army knife tome. True. Worth mentioning that his Mimit is max speed because he outsped my Arachnite there. I shouldn't die to the recoil hit. What? Arachnite's OP, guys. Okay. Also, it's worth mentioning that that's a max speed, like no HP invest Tataru, because my Nidrasil got outsped by it. So that's part of the factor there. There's no point in keeping Arachnite alive because he'll just die to Sting from Acronox. I'm gonna go for a Sharp Leaf just in case he swaps. Yeah, no, we click Sharp Leaf because it's fun. Arachnite also resilient? No, I just have good spread. Perhaps he forgot that the bug on Tat was fixed. Even if he didn't, I would have circumvented it because of the toxic ink. Didn't matter. I poisoned him. Maybe he probably just didn't have a turn 1. Rumper does nothing the rest of this game, so we just bring it in now. And make his Mimit Acronox waste stamina, killing it. In fact, I can just wake up the thing. We just go for kills. I don't need to bother. Sludge Gifts, if Grumper doing 25% is plenty for me. Is he finally disabling my slingshot? It's gotta be, right? Yeah, there we go. Bring in Valiar, Dust Vortex, the Acronox. Hope I don't get doubled in. I can't imagine I will because he'd OX. It could be like a Toxin Shower, I suppose. Rage Turbo / Charge. That seems to be the common combo right now. I like Extra Energy Slam over Turbo, but you never know. Shy Shield, Auto Destruction, Waspian. That's great. I love it. He goes for 1. The 1 doesn't kill. Does he go for a second? That looks like a no. He does not. He goes for the Rotten Goo. Yeah, that's game. Oh, my fat burner. No. I would have Sludge Gifted and then Hypnoed because my Sludge Gift would go faster than Hypno, and then I would get a free Dust Vortex off because he couldn't stop me, and then I still had my Nidrasil alive anyways. It was just to play a safe endgame. GG there. I mean, then that's kind of the problem with type stacking. I ban the Mastion, all of a sudden Nidrasil stonks go up. And then I ban the Whiplump, which is like the only other thing that can hit it on his team. And stonks stay up. It's cool that Sharp Leaf got value there, though. We really haven't seen a whole lot of good slingshot value yet. And that game was it. That game was it. Could I have done the stuff with... I don't know. I don't know how much I could have done without Slingshot. Because I guess I could have Nox bombed the Acronox slot, and then Platimus, it still would have done half, but I would have ran out of stamina, first of all, very quickly, because Nox Bomb is way more expensive, and I don't have high stamina invest. And then there's also the matter of, if you click Nox Bomb into the Acronox slot, and he stays in instead of swapping to Platimus, then all of a sudden you do 0 damage. But with Sharpleaf, you're able to do the same amount. So it's very specific, but I'm surprised we got one. We got a situation where it's good. Nox Bomb set turbos to 500-500 spread. Yeah, I mean, there's lots of things you could run. We were running that yesterday. Auto destruction, shy shield, Waspine. I mean, it'd be kind of fun to bring back my full attack Waspine, but I don't know. Don't know. Can levitate? I can levitate. Gotta love those mount glitches. Welcome to the stream, Epic. I don't know how many more matches I'm doing today. Sometimes I'll like start streaming and then realize, oh wait, this is gonna go like right through my supper time, and I haven't eaten yet. So I'm getting kind of hungry, but at the same time, Temtem calls, and still nobody responded about a toughen ETC. Is anyone in the chat selling? Because trying to have my message be seen through Mr. Road Toast, who's trying to one spot left, tell me when you beat the game, and trying to think that this is LFG chat, it makes it tough. Not to mention, nobody even has this chat open. You want to buy a toughen ETC too? It's used. Yeah, it's used on so many low percents, and just Thames in general, because it's on both It's on both Yowler and Rolder. I think it's also one for Cowrin and maybe another. I didn't have one prepared because for a while Rolder wasn't really on my radar. It was just like, oh, this. Ever since it got gutted, Rolder's just kind of. I thought it was just kind of trash. Wasn't all that good. And then I fought a few people using it, and I'm like, wait, it's not terrible. And now after playing it for a while, I'm like, oh, that kind of is terrible. But it's the good kind of terrible, you know? The time where most of the time it does nothing, but sometimes it just pops off and wins a game. So the stuff where you get like that 20 to 30% consistency. And yet it doesn't feel matchup fishy because your opponent has plenty of counterplay. It's just perfect for me. And then you get Earthbreaker, which is just the best move in the entire game. Okay. Senpai, good luck, have fun. Quadruple Toxic. I have a whole one wind that's weak to Toxic. I think we banned the Volorend, because Volorend is still not a fun matchup for me. Gorender's pretty bad too. I actually kind of want a second ban here, because I would have banned either Platimus or Turok, probably Platimus, and then pick Kapire, because Kapire does really well here. Seems like a decent Lawali lead. Bait out the Tyrannac and then pick the Kapire, because I can scare off both the Platimus and the Turok this way. I won't get to ban both, but I can still scare him off. And even if he does pick something a little goofier, like the Chimerian or the Minotaur, I'd be alright. Even Mashuk, I'd be fine. I'd probably just end up trading Lawali for one or the other. I want to ban Platimus. I hate just Aquatic Whirlwind on a fast Tem also has Toxin Shower, and this is tough. I don't have a wind, and my only both of my wind and electric, the two types that hit him, are also weak to him. So yeah, see, this is you can't do this into a Kapire board. I'm sorry, I'm sorry, but you can't afford to do that. So I'm gonna leave Lawali in, ban the Platimus. If he brings in Turok, I would imagine that a resin trap plus a plus three Quetzal would probably take it out. Maybe it wouldn't, but I'd imagine it would, even through the resist. And then if he kills the Wally, then I just bring in Arachnite, and all of a sudden I have synergy, and we're still chilling. I guess Arachnite's not great to bring in because I can get hit by Intimidator, and then my trait wouldn't proc. Trek desperately wants to eat the fire move. It definitely wants to. I'm not sure if I'm gonna. And then I have Sharp Leaf on the Niddersill against the Turok. So I mean that it's more value. It's gonna be nice to have for sure. Now the biggest question I have is what are the chances that he swaps into Mashuk, and that his Mashuk is faster than my Lawali. He actually prevents his own hostile boost here too, which is even stranger. We will Plague the Chimerian slot because I think that's the more likely one to swap into Turok. I mean, I don't think a Garender would be able to take a +3 after Plague and Hypoxia chip. Is this the Turok? Okay, it is the Garender. Well, that might live. That very well might live. Smoldering Kiss is still a bad move. I think I'm going to keep the Lawali alive. This is a really good Grumper board. Not if he intimidates his own thick skin. That's true. I mean, I imagine it's just gonna be a Wastewater and a Nox Bomb and a Meteor Swarm. So I don't have the luck. I can't overload the Kapire. I just have to take a kill or two. And then accept losing some health. Toxic Spooter. Intimidator would prevent my trait, so I'm not able to click that right now. Should kill. I could have gambled and hope I killed regardless. Nope, I would not have. I needed that Hypoxia damage, and I needed Thick Skin to be cancelled out. I don't think any other way would have worked. He went for the Sharp Leaf. He was predicting the Grumper swap. Oh, no. Now I can save Lawali for free. Bring in the Grumper. And then Meteorite the Tyrannac. This is turn 3 now, right? Yeah, so Intimidator will be up, and then I can all of a sudden bring in... Oh, we swapped the Tyrannac too. Harrier Mashuk. Don't see those often. Stream delay, you no longer look like a genius. I only have the default stream delay. Nothing, nothing on top of that. I guess we're just hoping for. Ah! That is so bulky. Yeah, you don't see Cage on Mashuk very often anymore. That one really hurts me. That one's really, really, really bad. First of all, I wasn't expecting Parrier, and then I also wasn't expecting the Cage. Rockfall was obvious enough. Some of these people running Cage on Skunch and Gazuma. Skunch is surprising. Gazuma, I could see it. I could definitely see it on Skunch. Or on Gazuma. I have to use Dust Vortex on Grumper, which sucks. Probably should have just resin trap or plagued because I'm gonna die to a turbine if he stays in. She doesn't swap out, or he does swap out. He outspeeds. He's got speed investment on his Tremurian. Yeah, this is a game where I really wanted to. Where I really wanted to have some knowledge beforehand. Sharply, if you could have CPG'd to the same results, but actually I don't change typing this round, so I'm sorry, I'm gonna bug abuse against you. Thank you for the +2 special attack, though. Your Tremurian is now dead. Yeah, Arachnite lives this. Not well, but I do live it. It should have died, but, you know, bugs. Bugs be bugs. I probably shouldn't use Arachnite until they get that fixed, because it is kind of important. Do I live? I'm not bulky enough to live. They fixed it for Zhao? I think so. I think so. Gotta go study. Sounds good. Thanks for stopping by. I appreciate it. Have a... well, good luck. Yeah, that stamina drain is actually really nasty for me. Yeah, I guess it doesn't matter too much. He just OX is here. Yeah, I mean, that Cage ruined me. I had the game until then. He just Meteor Swarms here and then takes out Grumper with a Sharp Leaf next turn. Or he's got Smoldering Kiss. Oh, he doesn't have Meteor Swarm. He'll probably just use Smoldering Kiss on the Nidosil, though. Because Grumper's not threatening to Tyrannac. Yeah. Yeah, Cage on a Parry or Mashuk, And I didn't predict it either. The worst part is, had I predicted the cage and attacked the Mashuk, I ate the first stone ball, and I could have at least gotten a second attack off, or at least made him waste turbine. GG, though. That was interesting. It kept my first move input from before the match. I mean, it was a good play by him. He positioned himself to resist the hit and then also get the cage user in. I should have just stayed in and doubled the Lawali chims or the chim slot a second time. There was no disadvantage in me doing that. I just didn't play it well. The only thing that he could have done was swap in the Mashuk to eat it. But then Mashuk would have still lost over half its health in the process, and Haranak may have been able to take out Lawali, but still wouldn't have been able to do anything to Kapire. So I still would have been in just a fine position. Even if after the Mashuk... Yeah. I definitely could have played that one better. I have not been playing super well at all tonight. I think at least 2 of my losses were winnable. You don't see many situations where you would use Tireless Mashuk over Tataru anymore. Parrier helps versus those matchups against Tataru a bit better. Cage is good for securing a KO too. I don't know. I mean, Cage is normally a double-edged sword. He had bait on his Turok, so I couldn't just bring it in and plague him like afterwards. Otherwise, that would have been valuable. He also, I guess, didn't kill me on the first turn of it. It's interesting because Cage, you actually don't want to get KOs initially because then your opponent can bring in a counter and you're trapped. I'm not sick. I just have a cough. Something must have went down the wrong tube earlier today because it's been around. Sad to see another Tataru user. I mean, it's not really abusing because it's not bugged. It's just like something that got overbuffed to S+ tier. And I have to pick both here too. Like UB Momo. I mean, everything back, like the first patch of Arbory, as far as I understand, was just terrible, and everything was broken, so it didn't matter all that much. It's more along the lines of like Time Split Pocus and Jack of All Trades Valash, where it's just super strong, and if you're not running it, you're probably going to struggle against everyone who does. Except there were 2 things in that meta rather than just 1. Alright, I have some options against most things on his team. I guess Psypack gets knocked out here. He does have Mashuk to perfectly counter it, though. We usually want to run bait cam users alongside Cage users. Yeah, best of 1 doing best of 1 stuff. I mean, I'm not real salty about it. He played the Cage well, regardless of how it ended up. It's 4 a.m. Go to bed, Laura Weaver. I know it's the weekend, but... I don't really like my options here. I guess I pick Grumper first. He definitely picks up Mashuk. He doesn't grab... Okay. That makes Valash a lot better. If he picked up Size Munch, I would have grabbed Nidrasil. Wasn't that also the meta that Roller was nerfed, or was that at one point? I'm pretty sure the Time Split, Valash, and Jack of All Trades meta was 1.3. And then Roller got gutted, I believe, in 1.2. So I don't remember what the 1.2 meta was. I don't remember anything about it. Because I know 1.1 was when Roller was just everywhere, because that was the first patch of Showdown. Yeah, Wally's really only good against Turak, and I have Saipat for it, so I think I'm just going to stay in. Going to bed, watch the rest of the stream tomorrow. Sounds good. Have a good night, Laura Weaver. Appreciate you stopping in. 4 a.m. here to announce my game already. No, I'm going to do that during my channel update. Probably sometime next week. I talk about it here and there, but not like a full announcement of anything. And it's all just concept right now, anyways. I haven't like it's gonna be a 2-year project probably, so don't expect a whole lot, at least immediately. I can clear that with a Plague Burn, which I think I'm gonna do. Have an up bar. His first aid kit. Yeah, it's definitely gonna clear that if I can. And then I'll have. I can reduce the damage I take this turn. Should survive well enough to get a Flaming Meteorite off next turn on the 2-Vine. That's kind of my goal here. Stand corrected. He has a 2-Vine that has significant speed invest. Like, that is a lot of speed. What? Oh, 1.2 was freeze. You're right. Oh, that was an awful meta. I did give him the +1 attack, but I don't think that's terrible. And Yowler is still. Was that the first? Was that the meta that Winter's Call and Warm Blooded got reworked? Maybe that was it. Tried to delete that one from my memory. I actually enjoyed the roller meta, even how crazy it was, and even the Jote Pocus meta was all right. But Freeze was terrible. The fact that yeah. Senpai, hello, welcome. GG's on the last one. That cage was frustrating, but honestly, you played it super well, so I can't even be that mad. Winter's Call was not there yet, but Hibernate was amazing together with Old Purgation. We're thinking. I thought Purgation was. I don't think Purgation was that patch. Yeah, see, it was like a full squish 2-Vine. I was kind of tiptoeing around the Gorong's first aid kit. It's now in range to die to just about anything, so don't have to worry about it. Sokka Pyre and Unedited, I'm gone. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, the double swap was good. I should have just doubled the Turok slot again, because you didn't have anything to eat both a nature and fire move. Something was dying. I guess you had Mashuk, but there wasn't a whole lot. Well, Ash doesn't get like any more useless game besides just poking stuff, so. I don't die to a heli kick on Kapire from Mashuk, so I'm free to go for a Crystal Spikes on Gorong here. And then I can even go for an Embers on Mashuk, because it'll either heli kick and not kill, or he'll waste water, and that's what he has to do to kill me. Workman, hello, welcome. Yes, this was one of the only songs that actually is on Spotify in its original version. Because it looks like they did a special like revival of. He did Wastewater, but on the Valash. Strange. So they did a certain revival of like one song from every popular Rare game. And this is the one they chose for Banjo-Tooie. I mean, there's a lot of good Banjo-Tooie songs. I don't know if this is the one I'd pick out of all of them, but it's definitely one of the more unique ones, so I'm not complaining at all. Yeah, I mean, I'm just trying to get rid of Mashuk so I can kill Turok with Saipat. I don't know if this kills for sure, but we can try. No, it does not kill. It does not kill. It survives on like 8%. Okay, I guess I just way underestimate Quetzal. I was trying to figure out the damage I did with Embers, and then plus the burn. I'm like, okay, that did like 25%. Either way, GG. Purgation was nerfed already? Yeah, I thought so. But I mean, even so, like, still getting a Purgation off on Yeller at that point was still just devastating. All right, 9 games. We'll do one more. We'll round it off at 10 tonight and then call it. Seems like a good place to stop. Also, just for reference, the other Banjo-Kazooie tune that was in the revival was the original opening theme for Spiral Mountain. Although it's actually kind of funny, there was another remake they did of Spiral Mountain that was it's by Grant Kirkhope, the original composer for the game, but it was like a remix, and it's really goofy. It's super goofy. It starts with like the kazoo, because Banjo-Kazooie, and it's just I'm gonna play it. It's not in my playlist because I didn't want it to be super goofy with it when it's not expected. So here. For Smash, no, this was just he decided to remake some of the songs. I should have turned it up a bit. And the Smash remixes are alright too. Not a huge fan, but goofy indeed. I like it, but it's not like a song that I'd super want in a playlist to listen to all the time. Just imagine you're like in the middle of like an intense battle, and all of a sudden you start hearing a kazoo going off. And then kind of just goes into this violence, the rest of it. But you know, I actually quite like the violin. Top 3 favorite instruments are probably marimba at the top because of all the Grant Kirkhope's compositions. Marimba/xylophone, they're more or less the same thing. I know they're not, but I'm a percussionist, so I can say they are. Or at least I used to be. And then below that's probably violin and then piano. Just really like the sound of all 3. Yeah, it's almost so remixed it hardly sounds like the original, which is just, I mean, it's interesting in its own right, but half the time I listen to these songs because not only are they good, but they also bring back memories. Did I queue up? I think I forgot. I got distracted by the song. Needs more cowbell. That would add to the goofiness for sure. I did get distracted. What's that, 100 in the Valley radar? I'm getting closer and closer to not being able to kill them. It's going to be just a pain of a radar. And then you get this part, and it's just, I kind of just wanted to bring up the kazoo part. If anyone wants to listen to it, just search up Grant Kirkhope on Spotify. You can listen to the rest of it. These are, like, these aren't the original songs, but they're relatively close. Can't tell too much of a difference. It's just enough to avoid copyright and stuff. Just something I'm gonna have to look into it at some point too, because I'm looking up things for like the game development. I'm talking about like one by one, just like how much would I have to look into for buying like a server to hold stuff. What about for art? Because as you guys can tell, I don't have a skill for art. Then just like what platforms would this be realistic to release on?
how long is this probably going to take me? What are some tutorials? What's the best engine and stuff? And one of the ones I haven't looked into much is copyright, because I'm going to be using a lot of concepts from the game Enchanted Arms, which I'm probably going to play on stream. Spoilers, I'm probably going to play the game on stream in the end, like in the rest of the month. And so it's like I think the copyright, like I wouldn't be copying the game. It's just the general even idea. I don't know another game that has even a battle system where you move on a grid and your attack pattern actually is based on your own position rather than just like a location you target. So I don't know if that's something that's copyrighted that I'd have to look into, and maybe that's why there hasn't been another game like that at least I've heard of. Maybe it just didn't go over well, although I'm pretty sure the game didn't go over well for other reasons. Cringy story. Forced cringy story. Forced player character. Oh, there's some just glancing issues with the game, but the concepts there are so good. And that's why I just want to make a better version, more or less. With many improvements and differences. And then I'd have to look at getting my own copyright eventually, too, so that somebody can't just yoink my code. Will the main characters be bugs? No, this ain't Bug Fables. Nah. I like bugs, and there'll definitely be some like bugs as just like monsters you can use on your team. But it's not going to be like a main character. And I hope there won't be too many bugs like in the code. You know, like I have next to no knowledge of coding, and it's just like learning everything from scratch. But I'm probably going to use Godot with Godot, which is apparently pronounced Godot. I had no idea. As the engine. And it seems like a lot of the stuff there is relatively easy, and it seems to like point out when you get errors in the code, so. Will there be tentacles? I'm a fan of sea creatures, so I wouldn't be surprised at all if I end up putting an octopus monster in there at some point. I'm not really planning on adding like any eldritch horror type things, though. That's not really my style. It'll probably more or less be a lot of monsters based in some way off real life animals. Just because there's a lot more to go off of there. It'd be modified in some way. Like one of the main ideas I'm thinking of, or I'm just like thinking of what are some initial monsters I can have that just draw up simple paint drawings that I can just use for testing purposes. Because I'll need at least some icons to move around the screen for like movement testing and stuff, which is probably going to be the first thing I'm going to work on. Is how to make a grid and how to select a character and then how to select movement. Because you got to work at things one at a time. It'd be like those 3 steps is one of the first things. And I'm thinking like the first one's going to be Hermit Cannon. It'll be a hermit crab, but like in his shell will be like a cannon or something. And then he'll be like a fire type. I don't know. It's just I wish I drew up the sketch of it on Paint first. So I could show you guys. Maybe by the time I do this the update, I will have a sketch drawn out for you guys, so you guys can see my goofy ideas. Legally distinct Pookie? No. I'm actually also not planning on having evolution be a mechanic in the game. I would rather, because the way I'm planning on doing the like monster capture collection, which is going to be quite different, and even leveling will almost be I don't know. I just don't think evolution's going to fit. I'd rather just make more distinct, unique monsters than have pre-evolutions that don't have a whole lot of a purpose. I feel like pre-evolutions and just the evolution mechanic in general is much better for games with an extended story that you're just meant to grow attached to over time and see as they grow up. But I'm developing it, or I'm planning on it being more of a PvP game, primarily with maybe just a story as a way to introduce concepts and ideas and more or less act as like an extended tutorial rather than a main part of the game itself.
I mean, when he tucks into his shell, a gun barrel pokes out. I don't know what it's going to be yet. I think it might just be attached to his shell even when he's not hiding in it. How much RNG? I'm currently planning on 0 RNG, but the only RNG I would potentially add would be a crit mechanic. Because honestly, I think crits are kind of like an interesting mechanic. Like besides the random 10% chance crits, having options that raise your crit rate and have your main source of damage be that like 1.5 or 2 times damage, and have certain units have that be their game plan, I think is actually interesting and adds another layer of depth. But if I'd have a base crit rate, or if I just have it be a separate mechanic, that's like, oh, you use it's like focus energy in Pokemon. Maybe have a move like that, where you raise your crit rate so that all of a sudden you do crits more often. I'm not sure, but I'm not planning on a lot of RNG, if any at all. Of course, it's all a concept. That's years away. Well, the thoughts there, and I have the motivation, and I have the time. So, all right, curfew. I'm not sure who this is. If somebody's changed their name or not. I like seeing the Grumper, Auhi. Auhi's been a lot more common lately because of its buff with Phantom Whiplash mix as well. They actually got quadruple mental. Probably a slowdown team, actually, now that I think about it. Maybe he's even got hallucination for fun. The immediate problem lies in if he has mom's lunch on one of his mentals to allow him to sleep through my bait on Grumper. You're proud of them? Yeah, I don't have any digis on this team, so this could be a tough one. If we ban out the Grumper, we don't have to worry about slowdown on one Tem at least. And then I'm thinking I might lead Valash and Kapire and just try and outspeed and kill something. But then again, if he just leads Lowaddle Pocus, like Lowaddle Roots would just slow and then ruin me, so it's kind of tough. Firm mental believers don't have Naga. It's mental cheese though. It's cringe, unfortunately. Yeah, that's kind of my opinion too. It's just slow down. That's all. This entire team concept is slow down. Kind of forced into picking these two, which sucks, but it could be worse. By banning the Grumper, it still just frees up this lead so much more, though. I don't. Most people don't even run an attack move on their Lowaddle. Let's see. This still isn't great. I wish I had an energy drink on the Nidrasil again. That would be so great right here. But I just don't have it. Pick Lawale. Pick my prio options. Probably not going to pick a Pyre for that reason. I'd much rather have even a side path that's weak to pretty much everything on his team, but at least can get a Venomous Claws off before it dies. But if he picks Mix there, then I'll probably pick a Pyre anyways. I'm gonna see if he runs the lunch. Yeah, that'll be game. That'll be game affecting. Music is fitting for the last choice. I really like this theme here. Dang, alright, I'll pick the Kapire. Valash stonks are way up this game. Gives Kapire Prio, has super effective damage against the mentals. It's not there. All right. It is not there. Worst case scenario is he swaps in Amphitheater, but who cares? Or in the Waddle slot, because then he can't sleep, and then Valash is still on the board. Swaps in Mix. I don't even think I do. I don't think I do half to this. Zero offense, invest Pocus. Yeah, alright, I can just Vortex that. And then he doesn't have anything to resist it. I don't know if there's any point in keeping Valash in. I think I just bring in Lawali. What do I, so his best options to swap are Amphitheater and Lawaddle. He can't bring in Lawaddle. He has to bring in Amphitheater. So the best thing I can bring in to prepare for that is Kapire. And then I can swap Valash back in anyways if I want. He still hasn't procced my bait, so Pocus is still not a threat. I should have taken out the Pocus, then I wouldn't have had to worry about any more sleep shenanigans. Marbles, no! Alright, so that's to take out my bait. I'll do some chip damage while he's at it. See, the C spikes did 70%, so the chances that my Quetzal kills are extremely low. He probably just swaps around to Lawaddle. I needed to T-strike the Amphitheater slot. Dang it! It's not enough. It wouldn't have even been that bad, even if he... Yeah, it's just... Crystal Dust doesn't kill. If he clicks Roots, I definitely don't even outspeed. And then my Lawali also gets outsped too. And if he's running the Bush variant, he'll be able to avoid any attack he wants anyways. Watch out for the Diabolo. It does. I don't think I win anyways. Like that one turn, I should have taken some more time and thought about it. I just lose here. -2 Valash. I don't have enough speed on it to outspeed even a base speed Pocus here. Or well, it's a max speed. Oh, really? I didn't think I would. I should have taken out the Pocus probably, but. See, Lawaddle's got the Diabolo at least. We'll like click Madness buff just in case he attacks. If he clicks Slowdown again... I think I went for the Pocus this time, or did I go for the Lawaddle? I don't remember. I did. Nice, nice, nice. This OXs him, so it gives me an big turn next turn, which is what I needed. It's just a little OX. Would have been more if it wasn't for the stand bug, but we take what we can get. There's the Diabolo, but that's fine. I guess I'm -3 speed. I probably should have clicked Crystal Dust because I could get blue screened here. Oh, he went for Penance. That's still bad. I have Kapire. Got Fake Bird instead of Sweatband, but surviving 4 turns from a +4/+4 of a lash is going to be... I don't know why I'm saying plus or 4 turns. It's kind of irrelevant. I'm going to just go for the Crystal Spikes. I should kill Mix's health if he lets me get it off. And if he doesn't, I just bring in Kapire next turn anyways. It's going to be real close. Nope, Major Slash definitely don't. I thought it was going to be another Crystal Spikes. I want to have synergy on Kapire. Kind of sucks, but I'm -1 speed anyways. I don't know if it would help me out speed or not. Probably not. Mix swapped in once, swapped in twice. It has Phantom Whiplash up. That's not what I meant to do. I think I have to sack Grumper here and hope that he just doubles in with everything he's got. And then I'll bring in Kapire next turn. Please Ninja Phantom. There's Ninja. Okay, okay. Give me the Phantom now. Live. Yes, take the Phantom. Yes. Exactly what needed to happen. His Prio's gone on Valash. Alright, he's got Scavenger. Shoot. Blue Steel, hello, welcome. I mean, this still sucks. Because I can Meteorite the Valash slot. I don't think he has any kill potential on me right now. I think I can live with Seed Spikes plus Major Slash, but I don't know. It's kind of tough. He swapped. And Pocus. He won't survive Denigrate. Questionable. Probably not. I don't have to though, I just needed 1 hit off. I don't know why. I'm surprised to see he's running Emanip. I can kill with allergic spread now. If it gets to a late game with just Amphitheater and Niddercell, I can win for sure. He's forced to double in on Kapire here. Or maybe he could E-manip Lawale here. I'm just gonna Embers because no, he doubles in. He doesn't want to take any risks, which is fair. It's completely fair. I know some people run turbo on Lawale. It's understandable. But this is the exact rush. He's gaining so much health back. I have nothing that can stop it. I keep forgetting about Scavenger. What I hate about these teams. I guess we find out what else he's got for moves here. I thought that was going to be Kaleidoscope for a second. Crystal Bite, live! Yes! If he attacked with Amphitheater there instead of Bright Beam, I would have lost. Like, Tesla Prison, Thunderstrike, it didn't matter. If he attacked, he would have won. Just give him the wake up for fun. Boop. Earn Intimidation there too. Interesting. I don't know why he used Intimidation when he just burned his other evasion move already. It was close. It was indeed very close. It was a pretty good one to end on. It was super close in the end. I thought it was doomed, and then he kind of trolled there a little at the end. A little surprised to see him playing this out, but you know we can do it. It's fine. I'm just gonna click Nox Bomb now because he doesn't have anything, and it does more damage than Toxic Ink. And you see, he did have Tesla Prison. Maybe he didn't think the damage would be that different. Tesla Prison is 70, Bright Beam's 45, and I did live on a little bit of health. Might have been real close, but GG. Pretty crazy game. And you know, that puts us at a really solid win ratio for today. Even my losses, I didn't feel like they were unwinnable. Offer. Finally got somebody who's got a tough in ETC, but I know him. He's just he tries to get the max price out of people and then some. Settling, but he uses Tesla. That's what I did. I think Tesla's just too much value. It's so strong. Even like you don't need the extra damage a lot. Or the front that T-Strike offers. You'd still rather have the utility. But yeah, that was going to be the last one today. I was getting a little distracted. I'm getting a little tired, a little hungry, and that's going to be all. Is there a way to join the Archipelago Discord? Let me try and see if I can just make a link to it real quick that you could hop in. I see if you can hop in that one, Blue Steel. I mean, 350 is fair. I don't want to give the scrappers so much value, and yet it's still a fair price. I think Toughen, I think, is one of the ones that you could probably go like 400K on, and it would still be like a decent price. It doesn't make sense for the sleep. Really didn't. You don't really need intimidation. That's fair. Looking forward to the VOD. Glad I can provide that. Yeah, my brain's just fried. I'm glad you guys enjoyed. I hope I can finally finish off this roller. Maybe I'll have to run another roller team. I don't know what I'm going to run next time. I'm hoping to be back tomorrow with another stream. And then probably Sunday I'll do the tier list. All right. Yeah. That's all I got. Thank you all so much. I'll just see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.